The man had been in a deep sleep for 21 days, and when he woke up, he found himself completely alone in the world. He had originally planned to die with his little dog, but to his surprise, he saw another person that day. From what he could tell, the distance wasn't too far, but the protagonist, Nick, still drove for a long time to reach them. In a post-apocalyptic world, having a good weapon is essential, but Nick only carried a small one. The woman's name was Ruth, and she led Nick into her home. Through their conversation, Nick learned that she had been searching for others like herself. Unfortunately, after a year of looking, she hadn't found a single soul. She had only recently arrived in the area and hadn't yet familiarized herself with the surroundings when, unexpectedly, Nick showed up at her doorstep. After hearing her story, Nick suggested that she move in with him so they could look out for each other. Having not seen a man in so long, Ruth even blushed with shyness. The next morning, Ruth gathered all her belongings and decided to move in with Nick. The small town was where Nick had grown up, and he knew every corner of it like the back of his hand. Soon, they arrived at his old house. The tidy room earned Ruth's praise. Checking their remaining supplies, they found that the food in the fridge had long since expired. Afterward, Nick took Ruth to the town supermarket, which could meet all their needs. While Nick focused on gathering food, Ruth picked up some medicine. The bodies in the supermarket didn't seem to have decomposed yet, and even after a year, the smell was still overwhelming. Suddenly, Nick excitedly announced that he had found something new: solar panels in the supermarket. Ruth suggested that they might as well move there, as the supermarket seemed almost built for the apocalypse. Outside, Nick mentioned that he planned to take the solar panels with him. By now, the world had long lost its supply of electricity and water. That evening, Nick enjoyed his first proper meal in a long time and discussed the disaster with Ruth. From what they had observed, it seemed that the entire human population had died, yet all other animals were still alive. With the absence of human noise, some animals had even started roaming the streets. Nick speculated that they might have a unique immunity in their genes, much like these animals. He recalled being bitten by a venomous snake before, which might explain why he had survived. In the days that followed, the two of them began living a peaceful and happy life together.